Is it the you something? Yes, initial stage. You, what did he say somewhere? Allow me to counter check there. He said something.
EUA.
You?
Exploration, understanding, action.
Good. Exploration, understanding, and action. Thank you for reminding me. It's what I was looking for. So basically, we are going to look at the 3 parts in the process of counseling, so that as a counselor, you know, which skills am I supposed to use in different stages. And yesterday, I was able to capture introduction stage skills, and I said one was active listening. And I also said another one is open-ended. And somebody is saying, or I had somebody saying, what I told you yesterday, that in the open-ended questions, you ask the what and how, but not the why. So at this particular stage, in the core introduction skills, when you are using open-ended, let the questions be very open so that you give this person time to do what we are calling exploration. Because at this stage, the person is doing what we are calling exploration. Then I said, because I'm just repeating stage 1, there is something we call the core conditions. I joined them, the 3 of them. The core conditions, if I may come again, we said the core condition entails 3 things: the UPR, the empathy, and genuineness, or another word we call congruence. There is another word we call in counseling congruence. I might write it there. There is a word congruence here. Congruence. Let me just put it there. Congruence means the same as genuine. You are genuine as a counselor. I hope you have seen that word, congruence. Congruence is when you are authentic, you are real, and you are not putting masks. You are transparent, and you are avoiding a know-it-all persona. You know, in counseling, there is a know-it-all persona. Persona sometimes is the main person, the main character. Let us know, when we are doing counseling, the client is the main person. We are not the main, because it is their session. So when we are using the core conditions, please avoid being the persona, the know-it-all persona. So those are the 3 skills, that is active listening, open-ended questions, then the core conditions. Those ones are normally found in the introduction or in the initial stage. I can add another skill I told you yesterday in the stage 1 as an introduction skill called contracting skills. Contracting skills. You must have a skill of contracting. This is where you give the client the consent form, the biodata, explaining what is confidentiality, and so forth. So that skill is also found there in the introduction part of it. It's an introduction skill. Do we need the skill of observation in the introduction part of it? Is it an introduction skill, observation? Maybe I can hear your feedback. Do you need observation skill there? I'm just thinking.
I think you would, huh?
I think
because there's a lot that
is it supposed to be there?
Yeah, as Irene said, I think you need it.
We need the observation skill and even the attending skill. See there? Attending skill can also be there. attending skill. As a counselor, what is the attending skill? What is this attending skill? What does it mean? As a counselor, when you are using the attending skill, what does it mean to you? Attending skill.
I could try and say, when you are engaging the client, for example, you are nodding your head, you are to show that you hear what the client is saying, the cues that you give, the body nonverbal cues.
Wewe upigiwe makofi. Uko chojo kabisa. The attending skills are eye contact, body posture. You can note them somewhere for future. Attending skills are eye contact, body posture, facial expressions, and even gestures. And even another one, vocal qualities, like what I told you yesterday, the vocal qualities, the tone, and what have you. Those are what we are calling attending skills. Eye contact, and we need them seriously at the initial stage. So you can add the attending skill, and under it, you can just jot a bit. I told you some of these things, you might not find them in the notes, because notes, you cannot write everything. So attending skills, then at the attending skills, you can note the eye contact is an attending skill, body posture is an attending skill, the way you leaning forward, crossing your arms, putting them straight, that is body posture, facial expressions, then gestures, and the vocal qualities. And there is another one, which is also an attending skill. I love this one, by the way. It is called verbal following. Verbal following, and I'll give you examples. Verbal following. Verbal following are like, I see, encouraging, they are called verbal following. You are talking so that they can also continue. Go on, go on. Another one is tell me more. These are called verbal following, and they are attending skills. In fact, they encourage the clients to move on with the counseling and so forth. Hope we have picked that. And it is good to note, because I found some of you are good researchers. And because I'm also a researcher, I also do a lot of research. And I like when I see people who can move with me in the research. We help one another. When we are talking of the attending skill, mostly in the attending skill, it's where we use a lot of SORA. SORA is a model. In fact, you can, SORA is a model of counseling. And this model was developed, but people can look at this more during their free time. This model of SORA, it was developed by Gerard Egan. He is called a skilled helper, Gerard Egan. You can look at it during your free time. As Gerard Egan is like that. Okay, that is the introduction skills. We have named a few, and now we can move on to the what. After there, I want to say something. What are the key objectives of this initial stage? What are the key? You can write there NB, the key objectives. Yes, we know those are the skills, but what is the objective of the initial stage? I can say one, the objective is first, to connect with the client. You connect with them. And secondly, it is to identify the primary issues. Very key. So the first one is you connect with them, and then secondly, you identify the primary issues with them. That is the objective of that initial stage. Could there be anybody else with another point of the initial stage? What is the other objective you may think about? Okay, let's move to the second stage. It is called understanding stage. Understanding stage. This is now the second stage. This stage, I also give like 3, and then I give you the purpose. The first one is reflection of feelings. It's where you do, as a counselor, a lot of reflection. And somebody yesterday talked about the counselor mirrors back the emotions. Where you mirror back the emotions, it's where you mirror back the emotions. And I want to hear something about mirroring. Somebody to check for us, what is mirroring in counseling? When the counselor mirrors the client's emotions, what are they doing? Maybe I can hear from people who can look at it very fast. We hear in an extensive manner. Mirroring. Anybody who has been able to pick?
I can try.
Try.
I'm imagining a mirror is just to take it the way it is. It's a reflection on the real, just if I look at myself, I'll see myself. So when the client is telling you about their issues, then you could paraphrase, just for them to know that. So you're using their words. So you have said that this is blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
It's almost like a repeat.
It's almost like a repeat. You are almost there, my dear.
Okay.
You are almost there. You are almost there. Okay, let me explain it clearly. When we talk of mirroring, it's like, now let me give a very simple example. Let's say the client is speaking very softly. Then the counselor also speaks softly so that you can be at the same, okay. So you speak like them exactly. If they speak with a soft voice and slowly, the counselor responds in a similar gentle manner. So let not the client talk like, okay, I don't like that. Okay, why don't you like it? So make sure whatever you are saying matches with what they are saying. If they are low, go with them in the low form. If they are high, go with them in the high. Another example, a client can move forward, ni kama anataka lean forward like that. The counselor also to be at the same level, you also lean a bit so that you can listen to them. That is what we mean by mirroring. You do exactly what the client is doing. Sometimes they can even start. And one person who knows how to mirror is Jeff. When people are up, he is also there with them shouting. Sometimes he even sits and leans down with them as they talk. He raises the voice as they do. That is what we call mirroring. Another one, the third one. You can also mirror with the tone by, like you say, it sounds like you felt deeply disappointed by that experience. So reflect that. Reflect what they have said, like you are them. Okay, and what did you do? How were you able to manage? Go with them in the emotional state. They are mirroring so that you can be at the same level. So that is what we call mirroring. And they say when you mirror, you enhance the rapport and you encourage openness. One time, when my children were younger, and the child is talking and they are crying, I could even just go near them, go low like I am almost kneeling down, go to their level, and they share a lot. In school, the teacher rebate me. You see, it is because I have mirrored what they are bringing to me. If they cry, I may not cry like them, but I'm almost crying with them. That is what we call mirroring. But don't use it in excess so that you don't, yes, don't do excessively. They are even saying mirroring is often used alongside counseling skills like the attending skills, active listening, and reflection of feelings and empathy. So when you mirror, you are using other skills like the attending skills, like leaning forward, then body posture, and so forth. Is it clear now? Is mirroring clear? It is in the second stage. Thank you. That is in the second stage, in the reflection of feeling. Another thing or another skill you use in the understanding stage is clarification of feelings. Clarification of feelings. That is, it is whereby you ask the clients in a very clear manner. I heard you talk about this several times. And it's like this thing has really affected you very much. If you don't mind, maybe you can tell me more about the effect it has had. You are doing what we are calling clarification. We want a clarification because they keep on repeating. So you go back there and help them to do a clarification. If you don't mind, maybe you can tell me again about the incident that took place at school. Then they do the clarification. Very important in the understanding stage. And clarification helps to get into the underlying issues. You are able to move back down into the underlying issues when you do clarification. And additionally, clarification is done with open-ended questions. They go together. So when I'm doing clarification, I also use open-ended questions so that I'm able to pick from them very well. Is clarification understood? Because we shall be using them in our day-to-day life. Don't let a client move on with their issues before you have sought clarification. Clarify from them. The third one is called silence. Silence. Yesterday, I explained deeply how silence is used. Silence is very, very important in the understanding stage. Who can tell me why it is important? I don't like talking alone. Why is silence important?
To allow the
Yes.
client to process their emotions.
That is very powerful. That is one. The clients are able to process. You give them time. Yes. And this silence, it is also meant to give deeper clarification or exploration. They are able to explore deeper and deeper. And you will know that silence has worked if you find your client has started changing, even they have started crying, it means the silence has worked. Yes. when you are dealing with a stubborn clients, we talked about the stubborn clients. You use silence. Thank you. You are using the power of silence. Keep quiet also. If they are stubborn, not wewe kaa stubborn. Mirror the same. Use mirroring, my dear. When you are dealing with stubborn clients, mirror also the stubbornness. Sometimes you mirror that. They are stubborn, you also remain that for some time because they will manipulate you. And I can also mention this. There are types of silence. Sometimes silence can be given to the clients so that they can reflect. Other times, you give the silence so that they can process their emotions. Please note that. Other times, you use silence to encourage the clients to continue talking. So you can use silence in 3 forms. One, to help them reflect.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. What do you mean by yeah? I think you can. Yes, you said
Good. I wanted to
everyone
say
in
to bring natural reflection.
Yes?
I wanted to raise a point to bring
Yes, raise.
self-reflection to somebody.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have I heard that one clearly? Just come again if you don't mind.
Okay. It brings out self-reflection naturally when you are silent.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they are able to think about themselves better. See dear? Yes.
Yes.
They reflect. We used to be told the silence that nows ni kama inagoga kitu. Unakimya, you keep quiet, then the other person, what does this silence mean? Even for parents, sometimes we can use silence, even to a young child of 5 years. Then they are, what is this? What have I done? Then they start reflecting. And then emotional silence, you give them space. Sometimes when you find your clients are very emotional, particularly in the understanding stage, because it's a very critical one, give them space. Let them cry. Tell them the verbal, I have given you a word we call verbal following. Verbal following. Okay. It's okay to cry. It's okay to cry. That is verbal following. And sometimes you can even refuse to talk. You keep quiet. Then you can have facilitative silence where you encourage them. You are giving them just one word, then you keep quiet. Then they continue with what they are saying. Yes, all those are very, very important. And just to conclude there, they say in counseling, silence is described as a powerful therapeutic tool. It's a very, very powerful therapeutic tool because it creates space. Note that it's a very powerful therapeutic tool because it creates space whereby the people being helped, they can make reflections and personal growth. They say silence brings a lot of personal growth and insight. We acquire a lot of insight when there is silence. When you hear people silent in the room, they are processing a lot. So that is in the understanding stage. We have been able to mention a few skills there, 3. When you get more, it's okay, but those 3 are enough. Maybe I can now pick from you the purpose of this stage. What is the purpose of this stage? Once I'm through with the stage, you know, discussion will come. What is the purpose of the understanding stage? Maybe I can mention, since you are also very new in this area, the main purpose of the, yes.
I wanted to say to create a rapport.
Create a rapport, it is in the initial stage, because that's when you are coming together, you are having emotional connection. But still, a rapport was built some time ago in the initial, but understanding maybe rapport is there, but it's not the main. It could be there, but it's not the main. Thank you for trying. Thank you, Maureen, for trying. It could be there also, but not the main one. Yes?
Can I try
Yes.
to identify the actual issue the client is going through, and also establish now the mode of, for lack of a better term, treatment or handling of the issue?
Yes, because you are going deeper into the issue. It could, that one is correct. It goes up to that level, better understanding, correct. That is very, very correct in the understanding stage. Let me just mention, maybe it can sync the purpose of this stage, like Irene mentioned, or the person who talked earlier said, it deepens the relationship. So the rapport is there, but now the relationship is deepened. And then we said the first stage, the objective was to identify the primary issues. At this stage now, you identify the underlying issues. That is where the difference comes in. The relationship deepens, but in the first one, they were creating a relationship. Then the second stage, understanding, there is identifying the underlying issue. The initial stage, it was the presenting issues identification. Another thing, the last part I can mention in the understanding stage, which I want you to pick very well. It is called, let me write this word. It's called contextualizing the problem. I will explain. Contextualizing. The understanding stage brings about contextualizing. Contextualizing the problem. Somebody can try to see what is this before I come in. You know, even as we can also think of it, contextualizing the problem. When we talk of contextualizing the problem, what do we mean? People can try. When you're in the second stage and you are contextualizing the problem, what are you doing as a counselor? Let me help. Yeah, okay. Or somebody has an idea.
want to try, Mwalimu.
Okay, let me just
Try,
guess.
try.
I'm
Yes.
just trying
The-
according to the
eh,
name. The name is
Yeah.
contextualizing, so there is context there. So depending on the
Context.
problem and the problem that it is that has been okay, here you've said initially we were identifying the primary problem, and then here
Yes.
on the second stage we are
Yes.
identifying the underlying. So it means that
Yes, yes.
underlying the same problem could be in different contexts, but we are contextualizing as in the right context of this specific problem.
Ah, you are genius. Wewe uko chojo. Mpigieni
that's-
makofi huyo. Ah, hiyo ni chojo. You have really picked. Like now, give us one. Give us one context.
Okay, so let me
Like,
think.
yes. I like
Okay,
this.
now let's say, for example, the person who was coming, we are trying to identify the biggest problem, the reason why this person is into drinking, into excessive drinking is actually because he's feeling, we have realized the underlying issue is because he feels he's not valued in his family. Let's say it's a young guy, okay? He's not valued in his family. So now when we check the reason why he's not valued according to the scenario, okay, the main problem that came was because he's of excessively drinking. Now, when we look at the underlying issue is because he feels he's not valued in his family. Now, the reason why he feels he's not valued, it's because maybe he is the one, according to his family, he's the one who never does a certain thing. I'm just trying to figure out the story, okay? So when we look at that, so we are looking at it at the context of the reason why he's feeling he's not valued according to his family and his setup. I don't know.
Yes. It is making sense. It is making a lot of sense. I remember we used to talk about the context in literature, like the setting. Are we taking the context as setting? Can somebody help me there? Is the context the setting or where? Where is that? Yes. Thank you. Let us not complicate so that we don't. Okay, what I can say when we talk of contextualizing the problem, like you have just said, which is quite clear, it entails like you try to explore the client's history so that you don't leave any stone unturned. You are not taking anything outside. You don't want to get out of context. So you pick the history of that person very well, so that when you are dealing with that client, you are dealing them not out of context, but in context according to their history. You also look at that client according to the environment and also personal circumstances. These things, they will help you understand the reason behind their behavior. So when we contextualize, we are able to fix our clients and try to dig, where are these people coming from? So that when we understand where they are coming from, we don't treat them just like any other person. We are treating them from a base. Some people, like now, biblically, it used to be said, if I remember well, Moses was born from the tribe of Dan. And the tribe of Dan, they were people who had issues with anger. And Moses was one of them. So, and God knew. And that's why he was not dealing with him harshly, because he was dealing with Moses not out of context, but in context. He knew the environment where Moses came from. And other people we know, even in our society, sometimes we even don't accuse them so much. We say, according to what I see, this fellow, where that quarry he was dug from, it's not very easy. So when we contextualize, we explore the client history very well. So you deal with issues according to the history, according to the environment, and also the personal circumstances or experiences. You will not be able to demean the client when you are dealing with them, and you are going to give them the best services because you understand them from the behavior behind, the reason behind their behavior. That's what I also understand. Is it clear to others? Thank you. Even the person who did it very well. Thank you for helping. Anybody else who think about context? And this is where now counseling is. The second stage is where the counseling is. It's where the real counseling comes in. Any question or anybody else who want to give an example?
I just have a question seeking your clarification. Do these stages go by
Yes.
days? So for example, you
Yes.
can say stage 1 has to be covered in 1 day, stage 2, I mean, 1 day, 1 session, say the 1 hour session, or we can have like stage 1 running for more than 1 session.
No, you go the 3 stages, 1 session. You cannot just go one because you not have helped the client. When only that you don't take a lot of time. The 3 stages, it is 1 session of 1 hour. So like now, you can take like 15 minutes. Let's say you have an hour. Let's assume you have an hour. In this, at the starting stage, take more time. In the introduction stage or initial stage, take like 20 minutes. Let's assume you have 1 hour. So here you have 15, and here you have 10. I'm just assuming action stage take 10. So that is 25. 25 plus 35. Take 35 minutes in the understanding stage because it has more work. So take 15 minutes. That's what I do. If it is possible, I do 15 minutes exploration. I get the issues. 35 minutes now, we go deeper. Then 10 minutes now, it's like now we are summarizing everything. So all of them, same time, 1 hour, if it is 1 hour. You cannot do the initiate today, tomorrow you do the other. No, all of them. And that's why, let me just give you another point. That's why the clients are told when you are contracting, you tell them, depending on how things will be, we might be required to have more sessions with you if what you have will not be accomplished during the first session. So, and those clients who love themselves, even if they are giving money, are a good and a genuine client, they don't go for 1 session because it's not enough. They go 2 or 3. 2 or 3 will help them. 1 may not, because you may not be able to go deeper. So you do the 3, 1 session. Then when they come again, the 3, because the contracting now will be shorter because you know each other. And if they still need to explore the same problem, you have no issue. Just pick the one they want to start with. So every time, go through the 3. Every time, go through the 3 stages. I have something I have found here as I was just looking at things in a deeper manner. I told you I also like researching. When we talk of the context, a client may come to you for therapy because they have a problem at home. A client may come to you for therapy because they have a problem at work. A client may come to you because they have a problem in the social setup. maybe where they live. A client may come to you because they have a cultural problem. So all those are called contexts. So clients will come with a family context, that is issues related to the family. Clients can come to you because they have a developmental context. They have an issue with themselves, the way they grew, the milestones. They may also come to you because they have a social context. That is the way they are relating with other people, the community, the friends. They can also come to you because they have cultural. So the contexts are very many. Even the environment is also a context and so forth. So have that in mind. Some people will come to you because they have a historical context. So dig deeper into them, you understand. So that when clients come, they come with diverse issues, and issues can run from anywhere. So a client can give you any issue. It is you as a counselor to know under which context is this issue. So that now, as a professional counselor, you are able now to deal with the issue according to the context. If it is a historical one, it is about past experiences. Maybe they had trauma. So deal with the trauma issues and what have you. So far, so good. I just wanted to make a clarification for deeper understanding. We now go to the action stage, but let me take a cup of water. Let me just wake up, take a cup of water. It's not near me, let me pick it. You are so quiet also. I'm back. It was not very far.
We're also drinking
Wow.
water.
Yes, let us give ourselves 5 minutes. We take a cup of water. It's important before we go to the other stage.
Okay.
5 minutes or to take a cup of water. Yeah. So yes. Are we back on board?
Yes.
Okay. We were not to take very long. Okay. At least you have been able to have a breather. Let's go to the third one. I left when we were talking about whether it is possible to go through the 3 stages, and I said yes. So make sure you organize yourself well and manage your time well, because you normally contract about time. Inform them about time very well and don't spend a lot of time. Let me just say something, because I have been doing some assessments a lot in units of competencies. I have found some people spending a lot of time initial stage and they miss everything. The second stage is where you provide. Prepare to provide is the initial, then provide, very key. So second stage is very, very important. Okay, the third stage, we call it action stage skills. It is the action stage skills. We are looking at them. And in fact, we call them proactive. The action stage skills are called proactive techniques because they are helping the client to implement the changes. They are called proactive. Why? Because when you give this person the skills, you are giving them those skills to go and use them out of therapy. That's why we are calling them proactive. They are said before they happen. And one of the skills that is very key here, we can call it a brainstorming skill. You brainstorm with the client, encouraging them to come up with coping strategies. What are they going to do when they go out? So brainstorm with them, talk with them, not to them, with them. Encourage them to generate a wide range of possible actions. Now that we have come to the end of this session, because I can see we are remaining 5 minutes, maybe you can share with me how you are going to work out on some of the issues we have been discussing. So you brainstorm, and then they tell you how they are going to cope outside the therapy. That is one skill you use there, called brainstorming. Another one is called information giving. Give them facts, specific facts. We normally say in counseling, you can suggest for them maybe some possible things they can do to survive. It is also at this stage of information giving, you give them psychoeducation. When they are prepared, you can educate them on some things. And I want you to tell me, maybe I need to hear from you. Because counseling, we don't advise. And in counseling, we don't tell people what to do. How is psychoeducation
Hi, is it me who has internet issues or it's the teacher who has disappeared?
She left the
teacher.
call.
The teacher has left a bit.
my network has come back. Thank you, God. It has come back. It had got lost and out of my control. Okay, I was talking about action stage. Let me just repeat what I said. Action, we have the action stage skills, and I said they are proactive techniques, and they are aimed at helping the clients to implement the changes. And I mentioned one of the skills is brainstorming, whereby you encourage clients to generate the coping strategies and come up with the possible actions. So let them come up with the views. How are they going to survive outside therapy? Let them suggest ways and coping skills. Then I said another skill is information giving, whereby you give specific facts. There are specific facts depending on the issue that you are going to share with your client. And I also said you give them psychoeducation, which we shall discuss. Then the third one, which I was mentioning before my net disappeared, was probing for action. Probing is like asking questions, and they stimulate thinking about the concrete steps. For example, what do you think you could do to solve this? Now that you have been talking about marriage, which you feel has not been working for a very long time, what do you think you could do to solve this problem? When you ask them that, they will come with their own answers. We are calling it probing because you are asking a question. In fact, we call these questions Socratic questioning. Socratic because they delve deeper into their minds and they're able to come up with their own solutions. That's why we call them probing or Socratic questioning from the Socrates. We call them Socratic questioning. Socratic questioning from Socrates. They were philosophers. So those are the three skills we can use in the action stage: the brainstorming, the information giving, and the probing for action. They are very, very important. There are more, but those ones are the main ones. Anybody who may think of another one which is key at this stage, apart from those I have mentioned? I can also add another good skill there, decision-making skill. Help them to make their decisions. And goal setting, very key there. Goal setting skill, very, very important. Decision-making skills, very key at the action stage. They are very, very important at that stage. Anybody who needs another clarification before I proceed? Or you are okay with that? Are we together in this? Thank you. Okay, the key objectives of these action stage skills is to bring about collaboration. Note that it brings about collaboration. It also brings about goal orientation, or it's goal oriented. So one is collaboration, meaning the helper facilitates rather than directs. So as a counselor, I do facilitate but not direct. So we are collaborating. We are working as a team. So at this stage, there is a lot of collaboration. Note that there is a lot of collaboration at the action stage. Then the second one, there is what we call goal-oriented, meaning at this stage, you are very, very cautious. that these clients are able now to articulate their goals. Yes, there was goal setting initially, but they should be able to articulate their goals. The goals they had set, let them now articulate them very well. And lastly, this stage, it requires something we call an integrated approach, whereby a counselor has to be very flexible, very, very flexible. You in a flexible manner, because this is a parting shot, and parting shot should be well finished. It's like you are finished in a bad way, it will be bad. So use the integrated approach. Use all the skills that you know, even active listening, collaborative, whatever, attending skill, mix all of them there, and then be able to help this client to live therapy happy. Then the last one is cognitive behavioral influence. You must ensure before these clients leave therapy, they have changed in their thoughts. They have also changed in their behavior. That is what I'm calling cognitive behavioral influence. You have influenced them. That is the work of that stage. They achieve their goals and they articulate them, change their behavior, work in collaboration, and also use an integrated approach so that these people can benefit from your session. I'm done with the action stage, not unless there is a question you need some clarification. I'm done with that. Yes? Any clarification you need? Yes?
You said that for every session we should try and use use all of these three, go through all of these three stages.
Mm-hmm.
So, for instance, you come across a quote unquote very complicated issue, or the client wants to go on and on with just being listened to, and they really want to vent out, and it eats into your time. And so you're not able to go through these three stages. So can you break it and then maybe, so what do you do? Do you break it and then start afresh the next time with the first and second stage? Or do you do, if you're stuck at the second one, or just at listening, and then what do you do if you can't actually manage to go through the three stages because of not wanting to shut down the client?
Let me start by saying, if you're not able to undergo the three stages, it means there is something you are not doing as a counselor. You are overstaying at one stage. What you do so that you can be able to navigate, let me use that word, to navigate the three stages. Don't make it that you will solve all the client's problems. You cannot. Even if you stayed there for a whole day, you will not. So what you do, it is you take your time and do one thing. Maybe I have not been able to say, and you have done good. Always at every stage, focus the client. Focus them. If you find they have stories, tell them, maybe we have been talking a lot about this, and because our time is moving very fast, maybe from what we have been talking about, you can pick what you would want us to address, focus them. Then you pick it and don't make it deeper. Focus them. At every stage, focus them, particularly this exploration stage. And I can see most of you are worried about this exploration. And it is a tough one because when they start telling their stories, they can really eat your time. So allow them to explore, but limit them. If you see that the time is getting out, for example, initial sessions before we see, which we are seeing the clients for the first time. For me, even if I'm a professional, sometimes 1 hour becomes a nightmare sometimes. And I have found myself taking 1 hour and 30 minutes, the first session. I will explain why. Let's assume a student counselor comes for therapy the first time. We have to fill the consent form. Some of these things they don't understand. So I have to take them through. Because it is through the consent form, I'll get there. We shall articulate the goals. I get the presenting problems and what. A lot of things. They are pick their issues and so many things. So the first session can be very tactical. But that does not mean I will not deal with the 3 stages. What I'll do, now that I have taken a lot of time at the contracting, that is the initial stage, I will be able to add a few minutes. Sometimes I can add 20, sometimes I add like 20, if it is the first one, so that I'm able to pick. Because if I don't, they might fill the form and go home and they may feel dissatisfied. So initial one, the first session of 1 hour, I may not take 1 hour, I may take more than 1 hour. That one I agree. But I make sure I have navigated the 3 stages. And if they have a lot of stories, what I do, it is to focus them. I use a lot of focusing. Focusing skill is very key. If you see they are overdoing it, it is okay to tell them, because we don't have we have talked about a skill called congruence. I said co-caudations, and there is congruence. Be genuine as a counselor. Don't die there. Be genuine and be congruent. Tell them time is not on our side, and I feel if we move this, we may not be able to exhaust everything, but you can mention the part you feel is mostly affecting you. So let them only deal with that. And that one now will help them to come a second session, the third session, and what have you. I don't know whether I'm answering your question or you are still hanging.
No, that is well addressed. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So David, don't just stay with they will crush you. Be very focused. And when you are contracting, tell them the session is taking 1 hour so that they know we don't have a lot of time. And tell them if they go into detail so much, don't allow them to go very deep sometimes, if it is the first session, because they will keep you there and maybe you have other clients who are waiting for you outside. That one becomes now a dilemma. You have other clients waiting for you who are mechukua 2 hours. When are you going to it? You may even develop what we call compassionate fatigue. Compassionate fatigue. Be articulate. When you are contracting, that is the time you set the pace. And they should know. Before I was not able to do that, but these days I'm able to do. I become very congruent and tell them we are remaining 15 minutes. Then they tell me, counselor, if you don't mind, we were supposed to go for 1 hour, like one client told me. And because now 1 hour is gone and I feel I've not reached where I thought I would reach, let me pay for this other 1 hour. That one I can agree. Yes, and I agreed. Yes, that one I can agree, but I'm not going to take 3 hours there and then there is no monetary value. I like that. I'm helping. Yes, there is no monetary value. You are not giving pro bono. When it is pro bono, it is okay. But if it is counseling for money, let them know 1 hour is gone and it is supposed to be paid this amount. Even I had other clients that they extended by that minutes. They used to, because of contracting. Nilikuwa naona wakiangalia saa. They had issues, but, and they were telling me, counselor, if you don't mind, give me 10 minutes, give us 10 minutes, we address this. So now they are prioritizing. In fact, I had even forgotten. Another skill you use, help them to prioritize the issues they need discussed first. Focus and prioritizing. Very key. Very, very key. I hope that one is clear now. Are we clear with that? Everyone? Yes. Thank you. So far, so good. Yes.
Mwalimu, I wanted to ask a question.
Yes.
Do you, as a counselor, sometimes get overwhelmed by your clients' issues?
Yes.
Do you do you
Yes.
have such moments?
Yes, I do. I do. I do. I get overwhelmed. And when I see the client is overwhelming me, we give each other space. We can even have a break of 15 minutes. And if I find I am exhausted and we cannot continue, we say, let's meet another day, if it is exhausting, because I might get a burnout. I do. And if it happens like that, give a break. You can, I have seen it happen even with many counselors. They give their clients a break of 15 minutes. You go and relax. Then you can reconnect again. That one happens. Overwhelming is there. And that's why you even see sometimes the doctors moving out of the clinic. And people are complaining there, this doctor is very bad. They are getting burnout. So he goes and takes the whole 30 minutes so that he can regain. So it happens. So have a break. If you still feel you cannot continue, then you can schedule for another session. And another thing I can add, make a referral. You can refer a case. If you get overwhelmed, refer. If you feel this case is too difficult for me, refer. Give another person, let that person get the money. Please don't kill yourself with cases that you are not being able to handle. Refer. Refer to another person. Yes, refer to other people. So you can do referral, you can have breaks, you can reschedule. Those are the 3 things you can do. Reschedule, refer, or take a break. For me, there are some clients I feel I may not be able, particularly maybe the issue is a bit complex, or I have an issue like that. For example, let's say you get a client who has an issue of anger, for example. And as a counselor, you have not dealt with anger issues. Instead of going there to do what we call counter-transference, leave it. Refer it to somebody else who does not have the issue of anger, because you might find yourself fighting with the client for nothing and you are not helping him or her. That's what I do myself.
Okay, Mwalimu, I have a question. So,
Yes.
Now let's say, like counselors, how will I know who I'm supposed to refer to? Okay, so because okay, I work in a clinic, and we know if some cases that this particular doctor or this particular physiotherapist cannot handle, we refer to a certain physiotherapist because we know the history and the expertise of the other physiotherapists. But now when it comes to counseling, now like the example you've just given, that you refer, now we'll take a break because it's a case that we feel we can still handle it, but we just need a break, and we can reschedule because we still feel that we can still handle it. But then we've known very well that this one I cannot handle. I just need to refer it. But you've specified that we need to refer it to, let's say, if it's an example of someone with anger issues, we need to refer it to someone else again. How will we know the therapist that, how do we know who to refer to?
you use the networking with other counselors. You
Ah,
can
okay.
do some, yeah, you network with other counselors. Yes, network with other counselors. If you don't have one in mind who has no anger issues, like now, if I may have a client, okay, and then I find because I have anger issues, this client will not handle. But I know a colleague of mine who does not have anger issues, I'll refer. If I don't, I network with other counselors. They will give me a counselor who can handle that person. Yes, network. The one we talked about, the multifaceted approach. So you use many people, use other people. Another thing you can use, Rosette, I have remembered, if you get overwhelmed, go for supervision. We said yesterday, maybe it's not you who has an issue, but this client is giving you a lot of garbage or a lot of issues that are really overwhelming. You can still go for supervision and handle that client. That's another cross you can use. Go for supervision from another person who is higher than you. Just say where you are not able to handle, then they supervise you, then you can be able to deal with your client. But if you really feel this client, you cannot move. Maybe you have personality differences, personality dynamics, and you have a lot of conflicts. You can have internal conflicts with the person, and you are aware. And you find that this kind of a personality I cannot handle. Just leave it and handle it to another person. That one is very important. So network with other counselors who can give you a person who can help you. You cannot miss. Let me give an example. Like yesterday, another counselor has referred a client to me. That client has not called me. And she told me, let me refer this client to you because we have a dual relationship. That is, we are friends. We are friends. And because we are friends, maybe because I have prior knowledge of this person, they might not see as if I'll help them. So be a neutral person and take that client. So it happens. You find that you have a cousin and you don't want to handle that cousin and they have an issue. You refer to a neutral person. So dual relationship can also make you refer. We shall be looking at cases where you need to refer, dual relationships and other things. We shall be looking at those deeper because I can see they are there and they make us suffer. Any other question? Or clarification? Okay. Thank you for asking. I want us now it is the group now you do it. Elizabeth ako, lakini nikae kado. I want you to look at this like the way we did yesterday. I can see it is 8:41. So by 9, I think you'll be through so that I can mention something, how we can negotiate a counseling contract, how to negotiate a counseling contract. Please do that as a group. Let us have a coordinator, how to negotiate a counseling contract. It will help you to open up in many things. Please do that. A few minutes. Hiyo hapo. Elizabeth is now off a bit. Yes. Have you started?
Hello, colleagues. Hi. I'm
How
just
to
thinking.
negotiate a counseling contract?
Okay, maybe we can start. We'll get to move as you go on. Now, what I'm thinking when it comes to negotiating the council. Hello, are you there?
Yes, Mary. Yes, Mary, we can hear you.
Okay. We are talking about how to negotiate a counseling contract. First, I think, to my understanding, we need to have the client. The client has come to your office, and now you're negotiating the contract, how to go about the therapy. I think that is where we are starting, is it? Am I correct? So what do we need? Yeah, so I'm talking about the client has come to your office, and then now we have to collect the data. So what is the procedure? We first have to collect the data.
I think what I meant by collecting the biodata for any client who comes in, you have to know like the name, age, marital status, family status. Before we go to the contract, there is just that biodata. And then for the contract, for me, I think there is things like number of sessions,
And I think
the timing and
Median,
such stuff.
before you proceed, we need somebody to be recording this information so that you can give it to the teacher. I mean, we need who is to do that for us, Kari?
Okay, I'm not in a position to record. My phone
Okay,
has
can we have
issues.
somebody who can record for us, and maybe you can give the briefing to the teacher? Davy? I'm just checking on the names which are there.
I think it was there is a guy called Soare. He's the one who was
Okay, fine.
who was recording for us. Is he here today?
Yeah, I think I've seen him.
Soare
Yeah.
is here.
Yeah, okay, wow. So we proceed. So we are collecting data. So we need the name.
Oh, I can go on.
Yes, you can go on.
I was my thoughts was first you collect the normal biodata, and then for me, my thoughts about the contract should be like things about consent, confidentiality, the number of sessions, the fees, the timing. If you miss, what happens? Such things. That's it.
Okay. And do you still need to ask the client whether they have ever had a session or a therapy?
Okay, I don't know if we are on the same page or I'm the one who's lost. Please guide me, whoever. Yes, because if it's we are negotiating a counseling contract, I think what you guys are referring to is the things which are the details in the consent form.
Yes.
Yes, so it means if we already have the consent form, my assumption
We don't
is
have the consent form. We are starting from somewhere so that now we can have the contract. Ama?
yes.
Like
It means
what is in the contract itself?
Yes.
I think
We are
maybe
forming a contract and then negotiating. That was my view.
no. I think we are supposed to deal with how to negotiate. It was very clear how to negotiate.
okay. So Esipa, can you let us understand how guide us how you understood? Because me, I think I
Personally,
understood
the
it
question I
differently.
think was very direct. Is how to negotiate.
No, just explain what direct means to you.
That is what I'm explaining.
Okay.
We are negotiating pricing. How do you charge? That is my understanding. How will you charge for your services as a counselor? To me, that is what I think I understood. Maybe I'm money-minded. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. We're
No,
just discussing.
yes.
Because I'm thinking, my take is, before you come to the fee, you must be coming from somewhere. You must get the information from the client, you know what they want. They tell you, they give you all the details, and then now you come to the fee. You cannot just negotiate the fee just like that. Somebody comes to your office and then you ask for the money. You've come for
Okay,
the session.
okay, Mary, the reason why I thought I feel I'm lost is because you see, according to what ESIPA said, I don't know, it's an ESIPA insurance, that's why I'm calling that name. So according to what he has said, usually every counselor or every doctor, there is you already have your pricing.
Yes.
Right now, let me give an example. The way we've been told that we as students, we have to start counseling all of us, there's a price that has been stated, right? It means the counselors we are going to see, this is the pricing they're doing for us. So it means they already have that pricing. When a client comes, when assuming I am a client at speaking to the teacher already, the counselor already has her pricing. So now here, when we're talking about negotiating, that's where I'm confused. You are referring to the client, and I am, and SIPA is talking about it's as if deciding how you'll be charging your services.
Can I say something?
Yes, please.
So I think what you're supposed to deal with here are the terms, yeah? Because by the time you are like deciding you want to go for counseling, the counselor already has you have already had a conversation with this counselor, and now from the conversation, that's where we go to the terms, and that's why the teacher just said how to negotiate what is it, the contract, because I think some of the things you are supposed to focus on right now are the terms, the expectation, the therapy, like the therapy sessions, maybe boundaries, because I think we have learned so many things, so that before you start that job, it will help you, and it will help you, both you and the client. So it's just as simple, ni venye unaendanga tu kutafuta job, alafu huyo mtu mwenye unaomba job anajua hiyo job iko na nini, so mali unaanza ni unanilipa how much, tunaanza lini, unaweza anza lini, like those are the things that I think we're supposed to discuss according to my understanding.
Okay, so I guess Irene has posted something here. A counseling contract is a mutual agreement between the counselor and the client or group that clarifies expectation, responsibilities, goals, and boundaries of the counseling relationship. Negotiating the contract ensures that both parties understand and agree on how counseling will proceed. Okay, so this refers to the negotiation between the counselor and the client. So this is the same that Mary is talking about.
Yes.
So I guess, okay, so let's proceed with that one then.
Yeah, so we start maybe with before we start, there is boundaries. We learned about boundaries, then expectation. What do you expect from the client? What does the client expect from you? The practical terms, maybe what are the hours? When are you comfortable? When are you flexible? Those are the things that we are supposed to discuss, maybe.
Confidentiality.
Yeah, yeah, those things, yes.
Okay, so we are done. Eh? You already have now.
Okay. Sore has written here, step-by-step negotiation process, preparation, discussion, goal clarification, win-win agreement, written finalization. Okay, so I guess that is the process, step-by-step negotiating process. And Davy says, these are the terms of engagement: fees, frequencies, mode, confidentiality. Davy, that's precise. That's very nice. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Any other thing we can add?
We also need to add the counseling policy, like in case you cancel, yeah.
Cancellation policy.
Yeah.
Davy, I think you can add that on cancellation policy. Maureen says timing.
So
I think timing falls under terms of engagement, right? If I'm not wrong. And the frequency is how often, right? So Davy, now that you started writing it, I think you can just add the other one, given that Soare is recording. Davy, please combine.
Yeah,
and then also review and flexibility.
Review and
yeah.
flexibility.
Yeah, living agreements that can be revised and adjusted at that like the therapy can be adjusted. Mkiendelea, unaweza sema, oh, can you, like, being flexible, you can adjust for the clients.
Okay, so let me read what Irene also wrote here. Key principles of effective contract negotiation: collaboration rather than imposing rules, transparency and honesty, respect for client autonomy, mutual understanding, flexibility when circumstances change. Okay, so these are the principles. You've stated these are the principles. But then, okay, Millicent says a counseling contract should be ethical. Yes, the contract should be ethical, okay? And then Devi says these are the terms. Okay, now Devi is doing the are you doing the combination, Devi?
Yes, I'm trying to
okay,
load
step
them
by
up.
step. Okay, we are taking it slowly. Okay, Ashley says negotiating a counseling contract is the process of reaching a mutual agreement between the counselor and the client about the goals, expectations, and the rules of counseling. Now we got the idea. We know what we're discussing about now. It's about the contract between the client and the counselor. So that one is very clear for now. Marianne says key components to negotiate. Yes. Okay, so I guess, Devi, you're with us. Anything you want us to add?
Which are those key components?
So we have fees, frequency, mode, confidentiality, goals. What else?
Okay, let me check. Okay, goals and boundaries. You did goals and boundaries.
Goals and boundaries.
Okay.
Payment plans.
Fees.
Payment plans.
That is fees and payments.
Okay, yes.
Cancellation policy.
Cancellation policy. Okay.
That's termination, which is the okay. Cancellation. Okay.
Yes. Okay. And then flexibility when no. Okay. Respect for client. Confidentiality. Session structure. Session structure falls under
mode.
Mode, right?
Maybe session structure is what frequency?
It falls under no. Frequency is often, as in how often. But then the structure is a little bit. I think the structure is more detailed.
Okay.
Not just
structure, Okay. What else?
Okay, so Marianne added review. I think they should be. Do you think we should have review?
Review. What is review?
Marianne wrote review and flexibility.
Thinking of the summary.
I think so.
Let me add on review. Somebody asked, what is that? Contracts are living agreements that can be revisited and adjusted as the therapy progresses.
Oh, so we mean extension and reviewing. Okay.
Okay, so Sarah is here also. He said the therapeutic and privacy terms confidentiality limits. Explicitly outline the precise legal and ethical boundaries where you must break confidentiality, such as risks of severe self-harm and harm to others, data and privacy. That is, detail exactly what session records you keep, how long they are securely stored, and who can access them. And then review schedule is agree to explicitly pause and evaluate the contract terms at regular predetermined intervals, e.g. Every 6 sessions. So David, check anything that we have not put there. Now this therapeutic and privacy terms confidentiality limits. Outline precise legal. Did we put that? David, did you put that on your list? The privacy terms and confidentiality limits?
Privacy. I've sent it out there for all of us to see.
Okay.
So privacy, I should add privacy.
Privacy terms.
Privacy is confidentiality is the same, right?
No, actually, what Sware wrote here, if you read it, is the therapeutic and privacy terms confidentiality limits, as in explicitly outline the precise legal and ethical boundaries where you must break confidentiality. You know, there is a time where you're allowed to break the confidentiality, such as when maybe the person is maybe anything to do with self-harm, or you remember we were told there is a time where confidentiality could be broken. Yes, so that one we are supposed to state it explicitly.
Okay. I'll say
as in when
ethical
this
privacy.
happens, of privacy terms, confidentiality limits.
Ethical privacy terms, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and then there is data and privacy. That is where detail exactly what session records you keep, what records are allowed to be kept, how long securely stored, and who can access them. Now, this is where, remember we spoke about record keeping.
Yeah, I feel that fits under confidentiality, right?
And all of them are still under confidentiality. Okay. And then the last one, we're talking about review, the one Mariana had written here, Shari has written review schedule, as in agree to explicitly pause and evaluate the contract terms at regular predetermined intervals.
Yes.
So if you have agreed it after every 3 sessions or after every 4 sessions like that, then you revisit it.
This last one is a good point about
very good. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think we should be good to hand over. Paste, so emergency protocols, the last one.
How about crisis and emergency protocols?
I'm adding that.
Okay, and I personally have not understood, unless Millicent would like to clarify it a bit. You did, and did you understand it, David?
Emergency protocols is just about what should be done in case there's an emergency in the room.
There's an emergency. Okay.
Should we have a place for the client to sign and also for the company to sign?
Of course. A contract, there must be a signature for contracts. So do we need to add it there? No. Do we really need to add it there? I don't think so, because it's a contract. So it means everyone has to sign. Yeah.
Let me ask, Lozette, let me ask.
Okay.
In case you want to refer the client to somebody else, should there be a termination of a sort? Maybe a termination of therapy? Would there be a part where you can write why you referring them to someone else, or in case you need to?
Yes, I think maybe we should add there referral terms or something like that. I don't know what it's called.
Isn't that under cancellation and termination here?
Okay.
Yeah, I think it could also fall under that. Yes.
We should invite the teacher back. I feel
anything else to add? Anyone else has something to add? No. Okay, Timothy. I think Timothy, you were saying something before we.
Talking of termination of contract, which of course the V has taken, whoever is recording has taken it up. And again, also maybe it's also good when you are doing a contract, just to make it more ethical in terms of law. You quote like the Data Protection Act, something that is also, we can keep you updated in terms of the law.
Devi?
Yeah, I feel now we are discussing these points deeper because all of them are captured. So I think we've exhausted them.
We've exhausted. Okay. Teacher?
Thank you, team.
Thank you very much, Mary. Teacher. Thank you, Devi. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, everyone. Marianne, thank you very much.
Okay.
Honorable Mwalimu, wakati wako ndio huu.
Really saying I'm really enjoying, and I'm happy for you. Okay, at the beginning, things seemed like they were a bit difficult, but you pick up very well. Congratulations. Because like somebody tried to clarify there, a contract is just an agreement. And the points you have picked are very valid because according to what I know and about counseling, it is a clear agreement. A counseling contract is just a clear agreement. And this agreement is between a counselor and a client. Yeah, so they agree with each other. And the elements that are going to be included there, because most of them you have mentioned, I just go through and then you see they are the same ones you did, purpose and goals. So that one you must negotiate. What is the purpose of this? Why are we doing all this? Why? You should have a goal, roles and responsibilities. So the counselor says or gives his roles or her roles. What am I supposed to be doing? I'll be providing guidance. I'll be providing support. The counselor says what they will be doing. Then the client says, I'll be attending the sessions. I'll be participating actively. You even ask the client, how do you want our sessions to be? In the contracting, ask them so that you give them that freedom. How do you want our sessions to run? I want to actively be engaged. I need this. Then the third one, which you mentioned, confidentiality and its limits. Make sure when you are contracting, don't only give the confidentiality. Tell them the limits. Why are you limiting the confidentiality? I've heard there are people who work in the hospital here or a facility of health. So in such a case, you can tell them if anything causes harm to you, you should be aware that this one I can disclose. So give the limits. If there is a risk, if there is harm to them and others. Another one is session details. That is somebody mentioned very well. The frequency and duration of sessions. Mention them. Frequency means after a fortnight, after 1 week, after 3 weeks. Then duration, 45 minutes, 1 hour. And make sure, because it is a contract, when you are in a session and the contract is about to be broken, please inform these clients. We said we shall be taking 1 hour, but it appears we have moved beyond 1 hour. Are you comfortable with that? Because they are aware. And they might refuse to be coming for those therapies because you are taking more than an hour that you said. You said you'll be taking 1 hour. Now you are taking 2 hours. They will say inside themselves, next time I'll not go there. Then the other one, somebody talked about fees and payments, if applicable, boundaries and ethics. Somebody has said it very well. In the contract, there has to be ethics and boundaries. And these are professional boundaries. Say what you cannot do as a counselor. And also, for these clients, tell them the expected behavior. For example, maybe the language to use, the punctuality, because those are ethics, to the time you'll be coming there. So all those ethical issues, talk about them. Then the last one I have here is termination of counseling. Somebody has said that, and you did it very well, because you cannot contract without a termination, because you talk about the conditions of terminating, where we can terminate this therapy in case I need to give you a referral. So instances where referral or termination can be done. That one we shall be looking at it. And I think as a part of an assignment, look at instances when termination is done in counseling. You can get 4 or 5. When is termination necessary in counseling? Because sometimes it is necessary. You terminate it when you feel overwhelmed. Sometimes you terminate it when you feel incompetent. We must not always be competent. I may be given a very complicated case, And counseling, I have done it only to the diploma level. And maybe this case requires a person who has gone deeper into counseling, maybe a PhD and what have you. I find this case is really burdening me because the knowledge I have is not really adding up. I need more knowledge to work on this client, depending on what they are sharing here. Let me give an example. You can be given a couple counseling, couple counseling, yes. And then you have not learned about the MFT theories, maybe the Gottman and what have you. Then at some point, you find I'm doing this in a very layman manner. I feel I know a person who is more competent or has done more on this. Maybe I refer them to this the counselor and so forth. So very, very important. Termination is key. Even us, we sometimes refer. I had a client sometime, and when I talked to this person, I saw that she had a lot of paranoia, fear of unknown. She had some illusions. Things she was not connecting what she was saying. Then I said, this one is not my work. And actually, when I referred that lady to a psychiatrist, she healed because that is not my work. So termination can be done. You can even be given a grant to 10 minutes, 20 minutes. The uncoordinated speech, these ones, they don't need a psychologist. They need a medic. Then you refer them there. So check the instances when this termination is required. And also in termination of counseling, when you are contracting, talk of the procedures for referral. Tell them, we may reach a point, and I'm not saying we have reached, whereby I may need to refer you if it is necessary. Let them know that the referrals are there. Let them know. Particularly if you are dealing with very serious clients. Yes, you know, a client can come, and when you look at this client, you find this is a very serious client. You don't need to joke around there. You contract very well. You become very clear with what you are saying so that they don't sue you. We normally say the client has what we call privileged communication, where a counselor has duty to warn. When we shall be doing ethics, you will pick that. The counselor has duty to warn. If you find that a case is becoming very dangerous, you have a duty to warn. This one is going to commit suicide. Then the client has what we call privileged communication. They can say, don't share my issues the way I have discussed with. They have a right. And you can be sued as a counselor because they have privileged communication. So you have to be very careful. Contract is very, very careful. Important because it protects the counselor from many, many things. That is the issue of boundary and ethics. Take it very seriously. Then finally, this counseling contract is very, very key because it builds the trust. You are able to connect with your client very well. It also makes the client know the expectations, what is expected of them. They know, and they become committed, and they know they are protected. So very, very important. And finally, the contract, the negotiation is very key. That one, I want you to pick it very well because it provides a framework for evaluating progress. So if you want to know how your client has been moving on, you only go to the contract. It becomes the framework for you to evaluate the progress and so forth. I think that is what I had. And negotiating a contract is, it can either be formal or informal. Sometimes we don't have to be very formal. It can also be formal. It's not everything that you write. You must not write everything. Sometimes it can be very informal, but you keep what you promised. and then you can be able to move with your counseling. I think that is what I had, and thank you for your sharing. You are very elaborative. I was speaking a lot. I just to clarify, but that's what it takes. And if you picked correctly from what we are discussing there, counseling, negotiating a counseling contract is almost, you are almost doing the counseling. You have won the client. When you do the contract very well, you will maintain your client. If you don't do the contract very well, your clients will be going away. You have to be very keen. Contract with them well so that you can retain them as a counselor. And I hope that is something you are going to work on very well so that you don't lose the clients that come for therapy. They might come to you and then they are always running away because when you contract, they are not satisfied. There is something you are leaving that you are not telling them. You are not giving them the preference, and they need to know, why am I here? What is expected of me? How am I supposed to handle myself? What are my limits? What are the boundaries, and so forth? So that is that. In as far as the counseling contract negotiation is concerned. Well, where are we now? Kuchoka nayo. Muko wapi? Can we Muko, eh? I think whatever we are supposed to do, we have really done it. And the bit that is remaining can be done because it is personal. There is this, in your timetable, there is this PD I saw about personal shield. And to be on the safe side, you can look at the two, the personal shield and the family shield, so that you compare. The personal, it has quadrupled the 4 areas. The greatest achievement, greatest fear, most important person, the greatest ambition. You are going to see it, and your motto. Then you can comment about it a bit. So write your personal shield. Once you draw it, comment down there about your personal achievement. What have you achieved? What is your greatest achievement? What is your greatest ambition? What is your greatest fear? Because fear also deters growth. When you fear, you may not grow. You may not grow. Personally, I know fear is an enemy. And I have an acronym for fear: frantic, false evidence appearing real. False evidence. Fear, false evidence appearing real. So life will give you evidence to appear real, and they are not. And they will kill your dreams. So you look at that personal shield, look at it from your own perspective, try to do something on it, write a few things about that. It will help you in personal development. That's what I told you. When you draw that personal shield, compare with what we call, what is personal development? It is the growth we achieve as individuals. And our growth can be determined by our personal shield. What is shielding us? What are our values? What are these values that we have that are determining our personal development and so forth? And then you can also check family shield. You can see many things there. How is the family shield? What is this? And then you also compare it with your family. You see how it is affecting you as a person. I think that part of an assignment is crucial because we are doing counseling, and counseling needs to be done by people who have really understood who they are and where they want to go. Because without personal development, you may not be a competent counselor. You'll be getting compassionate fatigue and burnouts, and you'll be discouraged. But once you develop the personal development, you have your personal shield, you understand it, you understand your fears, then you eliminate the incongruences in your therapies. Any question? You know, we are winding up. We are not going to add anything else. We are winding up now. We relax. Any comment? Thank you for participating very well. In fact, the session for discussion, I was here, and I think you are very good class in brainstorming. You are really, and I liked the confusion that started. When people get confused, they wake up. You have really done it very well. And that one has really made me feel good. It is an area I thought that you should discuss so that you can understand it instead of I telling you everything. Otherwise, I wish you well. Maybe we can comment in one word. I can say, I feel good. I don't even feel tired like yesterday. Today, I don't feel very tired, though I've talked a lot. I think we are not overwhelming ourselves. We don't overwhelm ourselves. We work well so that we can, it's a journey. In this journey, we shouldn't walk this journey by a lot of force. Okay.
Teacher, I have a question. No,
Yes,
not a
my
question
dear.
per se, it's just a reminder.
Yes.
Teacher, you were supposed to send for us the list of the counselors.
Oh, okay. Yes, I will. Let me communicate with Emmanuel. Even I think I have that list. I can forward once we leave here. I will. Thank you for reminding.
So a share of our notes, Amanda.
Yes? The notes, the ones we have learned.
Yes, yes.
Yes, I'll give what I have. I will also send them. I think they are just in my software. I will send them. No worries. They are here with me.
Teacher, I think Devi has something to say.
I think the teacher has, okay, she's back.
Yes, you are commenting something.
Yes, I was asking, I hope you can hear me.
I
So
can.
what is the status to these journals? Because we were told every week we have to make a journal for every week for all the weeks that we'll be here. So is that still a thing that is continuing? And we had also been told that you also said that we need to send them to you. So where do we send them to you if we are still having journals weekly?
Where were you sending them before, if I may ask?
We were sending them directly to the other teacher, to, what was her name?
Teacher Lynette.
Teacher Lynette. We were sending directly to her email. Yes.
I can also share my email you'll be sending there, no problem. I will share my email, no problem.
So do we start from the very first ones that we did from week 1, or where do we start?
Yes, where you start. Like now, this week, you write one, you said, even the previous ones, you can say that I will look at them.
Okay, thank you.
Teacher Liz, you mentioned that the journals have to be made weekly, but then it is better to compile them and then at least you send monthly. So
you have a monthly journal.
A monthly one. So would you like us to just send them monthly? Because when we sent to Teacher Lynette, we sent for the first and the second week. And then by the time we came to class the third week, she had not gotten time to even check on them. So I'm just thinking, the more, because you as lecturers, you're still having other live classes, right?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, so you find there's a possibility we might end up clubbing you with the most of them, and then you don't get time.
Yeah, you keep them, then you write a summary journal. You can
monthly one. Yes.
Monthly, yes. I think that one is in order. Like now, those who started classes in Web, see, they write Web, March, April, May, and now it's June. They have 5 journals which are okay. That's enough reflection. I think monthly will be okay. Instead of also taxing you a lot. You also have other issues. I think you write them per week for your own good, so that when you are summarizing, you can be able to pick. But when you compile, send it to the teacher now directly. A monthly journal. That one will be okay. I think that one is okay. The teacher will not also get overwhelmed. Monthly is okay. I agree with you. Yes. So
I guess we've come to an end.
Yes, we have. Not unless there is anyone else who had something they wanted to say. Only remember what I've talked about, the personal shield, the family shield.
Yes.
And also try to check, to connect it with personal development so that it can help you a lot. As a counselor, you know, what we are looking for here is not even for the what? It's not it's the practicability, theory and practice. So that you can be able to do the practice with the theory we are giving you. How can it be implemented well practically? That's why we are here. Okay, I think we can stop there. I wish you a fantastic weekend because we are not until next week now. Let's meet next week, God willing. And
please share the notes for some of us.
Yes.
Kindly share the notes.
Yes, I will.
Yeah, so that we can be able to catch up.
Yeah, you will. I will send them.
Okay.
I will send them. Yes. Who is going to lead us in a word of prayer? Then we say the grace.
Teacher, before you leave, I've remembered something. So maybe by the time we are done, like one month, at least you can give us some maybe some tests, some like to test our knowledge, or even give us maybe something that was tested in the past. At least we can know where we are. Are we understanding anything, or are we just there now before exam comes and then you're like, did I really understand something? Yeah, it was just that. Thank you.
In fact, I'm planning when we start the theories, there is a case study of Ruth that we can send to you. It has some few questions which can guide you, but still, because we have not tackled the theories, it can be a bit tricky. But that does not mean we cannot give you guidance on questions as we continue. So we can still do. I have very many questions I can send, but we have not tackled some topics, but we can go proactive, as you say. We can even send them and then you are working on them to test yourself. So that one is noted, well noted. Well noted.
Thank you.
Teacher, my suggestion, maybe you can send us the past papers. Yes.
On this module 1, providing counseling services. Like now I have some questions on, now us, the class we are in, we are in the new TVET. And this new TVET, we are testing on elements. Element 1, element 2, element 3, element 4. I think I can actually set those questions for you. You'll be looking at them. You can even do them and send them to me. I will send to you. They have element 1. Element 1 is about preparing to provide. Then element 2, provide. Element 3, it's about ethical issues. Element 4 is about evaluation. And then the other one is termination. I said, by next week, you shall have those questions so that at least you know what happens and so forth.
Yeah, let me pray.
And thank you.
So, Father Lord, we want to thank you this evening. We want to thank you for your love, your grace, and mercy. For sure, you have been Ebenezer in our lives. Thank you for this session. Thank you for each and everyone that attended the session. Thank you for the gift of health and life. Lord, as we wind up this class, we want to give you glory and all the adoration. And Father, as we are planning to meet again next week, we pray for your mercies. We pray that, Lord, that you may help us and keep us for next week. Thank you for our families.